Narcissistic people say many things to invalidate who you are as a person, to shut down who you are as a person, to create self-doubt within you, to make you feel inferior. And they do this so that they can have control over the situation, so that they can feel superior, so that they don't have to feel as bad about who they are as a person, because they're going around crushing who you are as a person. We all have our insecurities. We all have our suffering in life. However, narcissistic people, when it comes to their insecurities, they feel a need to make somebody else feel worse so that they can feel better. When it comes to their suffering, they feel a need to play the victim to gain sympathetic attention. They feel a need to make other people suffer to make themselves feel better. Narcissistic people kind of, on one hand, believe that all people are the same. Once one person has hurt them in some way, they believe that everybody else is the same, and they seek to make those group of people, that particular group of people that's hurt them, suffer. And it's because of their own suffering, because of their own insecurities, that they seek to go around bullying other people. Bullies need to make other people feel insignificant, stupid, wrong, irrelevant, invalid, so that they can feel superior, clever, right, and validated within themselves. And what you'll notice with narcissistic people, they are never in the wrong. Therefore, they're going to make out that everybody else is in the wrong. They have that sense of superiority, and they need to create that in the environment they're in by making other people feel inferior to them. Narcissistic people need to devalue others so that other people are no longer a threat to themselves, when the real threat to themselves is themselves. They just don't recognise this because they believe they're right. They fall into being the victim, and it's always everybody else's fault. As difficult as life is, and we can all be a victim of something, we can all have our struggles, we can all have our suffering, our pain. However, we are the only ones responsible for how we handle those things, for how we go about our life. Yes, we're not always responsible for what has happened to us. However, we are responsible for how we respond to it. We're human, we make mistakes, we have many different emotions, we don't always know what those emotions mean, we don't always know what people are doing to us, and we can all react, and we can all react badly. However, genuine people, when they react badly, they take responsibility for their actions, they blame themselves, they feel ashamed, they feel remorseful, they try to make it up to the other person. Narcissistic people, when they react badly, they blame everybody else, they shame everybody else, they criticise everybody else. And criticism is a tough one, because sometimes we do need some genuine constructive criticism. So if somebody is suffering in some way and they are spending their days just laid up in bed doing nothing, and we can all have a moment of needing to do this. However, doing this on a long-term basis is not going to be beneficial to ourselves. So we can all have that moment in our life, and people who care about you can come with a constructive criticism to try and get you motivated again, to try and get you moving again. And when we're in that state, we can react badly, and we can feel like they're turning against us. Narcissistic people can be some of the most incredibly lazy people you could ever meet. However, they will project this out and accuse you of being the lazy one, to get you to work harder to please them, to get you to work harder to do things for them. They're going to do the bare minimum for you, yet blame you for why they don't do the bare minimum, or bring up what they have done, the very little they have done. After all I've done for you, to get you to feel bad for calling them out. Yet they're going to accuse you of being lazy because they have that sense of entitlement. They believe you should serve them. Narcissistic people feel entitled. They feel like they're more important than those around them. They're full of arrogance. They have the confidence without the competence. They don't recognise their own inadequacies. However, they recognise the inadequacies in all those around them, and they will point out the inadequacies in all those around them. They don't recognise their own faults and flaws. However, they recognise the faults and flaws in those around them, and they will point out the faults and flaws in those around them. They will create faults and flaws in those around them to point them out. Narcissistic people lack empathy, and they have a willingness to exploit people, and they will exploit people's vulnerabilities and weaknesses to their own gain. So when you've got some good news, when you've got an idea, when you've got something you want to do, a job you want to go for, perhaps a course you'd like to do, a narcissistic person doesn't want to see you doing better than them. They want to keep you beneath them. They're not going to be pleased for you as you would somebody else. If somebody else is doing a course or going for a job, you're rooting for them. You want to see them succeed. Narcissists don't want to see you succeed because they believe you've stolen something from them. So they're going to turn around and go, wow, do you really think you're capable of doing that? Don't really think that job's for you. Or they're going to put down the job or the career in some way. Or they're going to claim that you're neglecting the children if you go and do that. You're neglecting the family. They're not going to want you to, they're not going to make sacrifices to help you. Yet they want you to make sacrifices to be there for them. However, if they're ever planning on doing something and they come and talk to you and you're just a listening ear and they talk themselves out of it, they're going to blame you for you talking them out of it, even though you didn't do anything. They're going to blame you for ruining their life. They're going to make you feel responsible for ruining their life, yet they're going to tell you that you ruined your own. When you share bad news with them, a narcissist is going to be all about how they've suffered far worse or how somebody else has suffered far worse. So they're going to compare you to somebody else to make you feel ashamed for complaining. We can all complain in life. We all have those bad moments and those bad days and those things that happen to us, and we can all think that life's unfair from time to time. However, with a narcissist, life is only unfair to them. Everybody else gets all the luck. They're incredibly envious of others. Therefore, they seek to put you down. They seek to make you feel ashamed when something goes wrong in your life. However, when something goes wrong in their life, you need to pander to their every need. When you question them, a narcissist might come at you with, I've already told you, I'm busy. I don't want to discuss this. Are we really going to talk about this now? You really want to start an argument again? So you can never validate your experiences with them. You can never communicate with them because they shut the conversation down before it even gets anywhere. This naturally makes you feel like you're not important, like your voice shouldn't be heard, like your opinions are wrong. They want to make you feel like you're not worthy. And they can do it in a format such as, oh, I can't talk about this right now. I'm a little bit busy. Which we can all do, we can all be busy. However, most people will then come to the conversation at some point. Narcissistic people will forever put the conversation off. However, when they do it in a format of saying they're a little busy right now, we give them the benefit of the doubt. When a narcissistic person lies to you and you find out about this lie, you might ask them about it and they will say, they can outright deny ever lying, or they can turn around and say, I didn't tell you because I knew you'd act like this. I didn't tell you because you can't handle the truth. They want to make you feel stupid. They want to make you feel like you're in the wrong for them lying to you. They want to make out it's your fault that they lied to you. They want you to feel inferior. They want you to feel daft that they lied to you. They want to make out that it was your fault that they had to lie, when in reality, just because somebody can't handle something doesn't necessarily negatively impact another person's life. However, somebody lying will always impact another person's life in some way. Narcissists lie to you and then accuse you of being naive. Lying hurts. Naivety doesn't intentionally hurt. And we are all capable of telling a white lie to try and protect somebody's feelings. Narcissistic people don't lie to protect your feelings. They lie to protect themselves. They don't want you finding out the truth. And they turn around and say, who'd put up with you? Who'd love you? Who'd want you? Nobody would. I didn't even ask for you anyway. It makes you feel completely and utterly worthless. And like nobody would ever care about you. And like you've got nobody. Possibly because narcissistic people feel worthless. But they hide this by making everybody else feel unworthy. Or when you tell a joke, they can turn around and say, "You think that's funny?" No, we can all do something. We can all have different senses of humour. We can all do something that one person would find funny and one person wouldn't. However, a narcissist is going to insult the things you say. They're going to say, "You think that's funny? You think that's clever? You think you can do that?" Because they're looking to make you feel bad. So you walk away from the conversation, overanalyzing it, ruminating it, questioning and doubting yourself and not them. It's your fault. You made me do it. If it wasn't for you, you know what I'm like. They're making you take responsibility for all their behaviour so that they don't have to. And the more you forgive a narcissist, the worse their behaviour gets. It's not your fault. We are only ever responsible for our own behaviour, provoked or not. Now, we might be naive in the ways people provoke us, and we have to learn to understand what they're doing and no longer react to them. And it's very, very difficult with the natural human emotions such as anger and resentment. We can naturally want to react when people are pushing our buttons. We have to recognise narcissistic people push your buttons on purpose to gain that reaction from you so that they can blame you. They do not take responsibility. However, you will often find that when you react, you feel bad, you take responsibility, and you're the one changing your behaviour because you don't like how you acted. When it comes to narcissistic people, disgust is a very powerful emotion, and narcissistic people want to make you feel disgusted about yourself. They want to make you feel ashamed about yourself. They ridicule you to the point where you are disgusted in the things you do, the things you say, you question and overanalyze everything. When we need to flip that a bit and learn to become disgusted within how they treat us, how they treat their loved ones, because it helps to break, being disgusted in them helps to break free from them. It helps to recognise that they are not the kind of person we want to go to with our good news, with our bad news, with our career goals, with our questions, because they are just going to make us feel bad due to their own insecurities, which we cannot help with them with because they're not willing to help themselves. So by no longer being disgusted within ourselves and being disgusted within them, we can start to break free from how they treat us and reprogram how we talk to ourselves. We do have to be careful with that disgust because that disgust can lead to feelings of bitterness and wanting to seek revenge. And the best revenge against a narcissist is going no contact, letting them go and live their life while you go and live yours. Or limited contact and grey rock. Narcissistic people have a sense of entitlement. They feel superior. They're envious of others. They exploit others. So when they are no longer getting your time, when they can no longer exploit you, they feel that pain, which is why some will double down and up their games, escalate their games to try and get reactions from you. Going no contact hits a narcissistic person hard. Going grey rock hits a narcissistic person hard. However, it's the only way to break free. If anyone has any thoughts on this video, please do add those into the comments. Thank you very much to all the returning subscribers, and your continued support with the channel is greatly appreciated. If you are new to the channel, I'm Elizabeth Shaw. This channel is all about narcissistic behaviour to give you more understanding of the people you might be dealing with within your life, how to handle yourself around those people if you cannot go no contact, and different methods to find what works for you to help you understand and overcome narcissistic and emotional abuse. If you do find the information helpful on the channel, please do subscribe. If you are looking for further help and support in understanding and overcoming narcissistic and emotional abuse, I do have several online guides available, and those teachable links are in the video description. If you're looking for someone to speak to, I have partnered with BetterHelp, and their sponsored link is also in the video description. Go out there and create the day that you deserve, because you do deserve to have an amazing day. Bye.